We are assembling the chicken pop-up card. So I'm going to pull in my base here, and we're going to start with it. I have already glued my panels in place. So now we're going to prep the base. And to do that, you're going to fold it down level to the top, and then your next score line, you're going to fold it back up. This creates a 1/4 inch gap that we're going to glue down. And you want to do that to all 4 sides. Now we're going to glue down these tabs. This is a little bit thick, so you have to hold it down a little bit, make sure it sticks. I am recording. We're going to glue this down. Please close the door up there. Okay, so we're gluing all 4 sides like that. Oops. So it kind of oozed through my score lines there. Okay, so now we're just going to set this aside and let that dry. And let's pull in. This is our chicken house. When I originally designed this, I had thought to do this, the chicken house itself, in brown, but then I wanted it to match the color of the base, just to tie in the color that I chose for that. So I changed it up, made it red. Oh, and I will mention also that the brown piece, this is doubled. I glued it prior to starting the video and let it dry a bit under my mat so that it would remain flat. Excuse me, to help prevent it from curling too much from the glue. I'm just putting small dots of glue on this, gluing those 2 together, and then this. And I'm just centering this in here. This is obviously the doorway. I want to put this on before I put the window so that I make sure there's room for it. Like that, it almost looks like a doghouse. Then I can add my little window right there. it has a small bit of hay. I got a little piece here that's cut that didn't pull out. See if I can get a hold of it. There we go. I'm going to just put my hay right here. I think that I want to add some brown to my hay. Here I want to ink the edges just a little. And I probably should have done that on the dirt. And the reason that I chose like dirt is because all the chicken yards I've seen, I don't know if the chickens have done it or it's just the way they keep them, but they seem to keep them in dirt pins, it seems to me, at least what I've seen. I'm going to put that there. And then we have a little bitty chick. So she has these 4 pieces, or he. If you don't want to cut out this little body, it'll look fine without it. I just like the added look of dimension of like having the body distinguished from the little wings. And then your oval is the eyes. And that's just going to glue here behind the head. Now this one, I forgot to, sorry for all the noise. This one has put some glue on there so it gets a little bit tacky. Has a little, I think I put it on upside down. Doesn't really matter. But he does have a little beak. And the chick has little feet. Which you probably don't need the feet. But I cut them, so I'm going to put them on. Too much glue there. Move some over to the other side. And then our little chick sits here. In fact, I think it would look better without the feet myself. But it does help distinguish against the hay, since I did them both the same color, even though I inked it a little bit. And so your little chick is just coming here out of the chicken house. So this piece is your center, and you know that because there is no fold line here. And so that, oh, there are these little steps. Almost forgot about these. because this is like a little ramp. So these just go here. I just cut them in a little darker brown. Oh, put them in the wrong place. Let me just take this one off because I think I only need 2 and I have 3. That one was the longer one and it was supposed to be at the top. So before you start, you'll want to just take a minute and figure out where those go, but you really only need 2 of them. So there, I think that looks just darling. Now I'm going to do my tree. I've already added the dirt under the tree. I have already glued these together and I dried it under my mat, again just like I did the chicken coop. On this one you'll notice that one piece is shorter than the other, and that's because this one is a tab that goes here through the base, and to prevent bulk when you fold it over and glue it to the bottom, I've done it as a single layer. And I think I just want to kind of hit this dirt a little bit with my ink pad. Would have been easier to do before I glued it on, but I just decided that was what I wanted. So let me arrange these where I think I might want them to be. If you don't want an apple tree, you don't have to put the apples on. A cherry tree would be cute. So that's the back layer. That goes together pretty quickly. And this is how they layer, so that's what you'll be seeing. And now we're going to put together our chicken. I'm going to go ahead and ink this a little bit. This goes together similar to the baby chick. So the eyes are going to go behind. But the other thing we have is, I don't know what that's called, but that's going to go right here at the top. And I'm going to put it on before I put, I'm just gonna, I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but I'm just touching the edges of this with the ink pad. I'm not really taking it onto the chicken, really. It's just because it's white on white and it'll help distinguish the pieces. And just like the chick, the body goes on first. You can see how that, just that slight line helps distinguish between the body and the wings. So I'm just putting a dot of glue there. I'm going to put this on before I glue the head in place. And then you won't see that little piece that's glued in. Okay. Now, this one also has a beak. And feet. And you just need the smallest dab of glue. Now I do have a pickup tool, but as you can see, you can really use anything. Now, before I glue my chicken into place, which is kind of why I was lining this stuff up to begin with, I want to do this to see, and I just want to glue the chicken like right there. So I want to see everything. And you just need to add glue here right to the bottom. Okay. Now let's pull in our base. And this one does have a score line. And this one is the front. And then our chicken coop. And then it comes around and goes together like this, so then our tree goes in. And I do this each time I put these together, because for me visually, I think it helps me not make a mistake. So I lay these down face down because that's how they're going to go in. And I'm just going to start with this one. And you take this tab, and it's, sometimes it can, you might have to struggle with it a little. You're going to put this all the way through to the bottom. So it's going through the top one and then down through the bottom. And then you're going to flip it over. You're going to fold this tab up. We're going to glue this in place. Like so. Okay. And flip it back. And now on this side, you start with the front and you work to the back. So you put in your chicken. And again, just like the tree, it slides through to the bottom. Okay. And we're going to flip it over and fold the tab up and glue it to the bottom. All right. So this is what we have so far. You'll notice here when I push up on this bottom part that the top's not going with it. Same with the tree. That piece is staying in place. So that's where this piece comes in. And this piece is in the slit that's right on the fold. And I'm just making sure that my dirt is level on both sides, because there is a little bit of wiggle room with that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this tab up on this bottom piece, and we're just going to glue this tab to this center. So you want to be careful with your glue so that when it oozes out, it's not causing you problems. You don't want to glue it there to the bottom. You want to really keep that glue under control. Now, it's still not lifting the top, so what we do here is we lift this up, we're going to put glue again just on the tab. We're going to glue this top piece to our center. And now what happens when I push this up, it lifts the top with it. So if you have put your card together and it's not opening correctly, this is probably the step that you missed. Okay. Now on this side, you want your top tab down and your bottom tab up. We're going to glue them to the corresponding tabs on this side. So you just want to put glue on the tabs. Then we're going to bring this over and we're going to glue this tab to tab. Now you've got some bulk in here because of your inserts, so you just want to apply some pressure for a few minutes, make sure it's sticking, and then take a look and make sure that when you push up on the bottom that this center piece is also raising, and it is. It's best to check at this point because you can still kind of peel things apart and get it fixed if you need to. But once you close this up, it's harder. It's harder to get it apart. So I'm going to apply glue here to this tab. Close this up. And then there we have our chicken pop-up card. Thanks for joining me.